This is for the wrapped Baroque briolet or teardrop. I take 18 inches of wire. Then I take the pendant with the hole at the top and I string about 1.5 inches through. And then I bring them right down the middle and kind of pinch them like that. I take my chain nose pliers, bend it at a 90-degree angle flush to the top of the pendant. And then I kind of take the longer piece, and you want a 90-degree angle right at the top, middle thickness of the pendant. I take the short piece, and you can use the pliers or your finger, and just wrap it around once. And by making that 90-degree angle, you get a nice and tight loop. I only do it once because I don't want a tall, long neck at the end. I'm going to cut it flush. Now you can either hold the pendant in front or back, as long as it's facing you flat. You grab your round nose pliers, and you're going to want to mark on your pliers the same spot so that every single piece you do is in the same spot, so all the loops are the same. And I grab it flush to the little loop that you made, maybe up just a hair, and you bring it towards you at a 90-degree angle. Let's see if we can get a good view here. Okay, so now that's facing you. You're going to bring the wire simply over the loop. Grab the pendant, keeping in the same spot. You just move your pliers up, bring the loop full circle and pull it towards you. Now you're going to grab the pendant and remove the pliers, and I'll grab chain nose, and I pinch that loop closed, and that'll prevent it from moving. So let's try to get all the angles here so you can see what's going on. Now, if you have a big space here, that's going to leave you with a big tall neck when on the finished product. So I want everything really tight in this spot, and that's your foundation. So now I'm going to take this long piece of wire. Alright, let's stay in the camera here. And just start wrapping tightly. It's so hard to stay in the camera here. Coil along tightly. Okay, so I'm going to lose the pliers once I get to the pendant because everything stays in place. And now this first layer, while you're going down, you want to keep tight. Let's see. The coils are all back to back. And you want to keep going past the loop. And what I would do is just use one of the samples that I included for a guideline. So this helps. This is one of the things that'll help keep every pendant uniform. So say this is the sample. I hold them next to each other. I still got a couple more rows to go before it's the same amount of wire. Okay, I'm going to do one more. All right. So that one got off a little bit. All right. Now's the tricky part. When you come back up is where it needs to be casually loose. But to get that effect is tricky. And you can stop at any time if you start to get stressed out or if it starts to go awry. So I'm keeping a loose but firm grip And I'll even pull away a little bit so I can actually get this kind of loose bubbled effect. And I don't want the end result to be lumpy like the pendant. I want it to be a smooth, rounded situation. And by doing this, I'm twisting, I'm keeping a firm but loose pinch on this wire so that I can create space and air without it moving with the final product. So once you get towards the loop is the trickiest part, because it's thinner and it's not uniform because of the pendant. So this is where I try to keep my loose wrapping pretty uniform, but in like a messy kind of way. All right, so now I'm finishing up the top loop. I'm going to cut it not quite flush with just a little bit left over. And then I just pinch it. So now I have this loop facing front to back. I'm going to give it one more twist because of how the hooks hook in. They want to go this way to keep the pendant front facing. So I just see what direction the loop's going in. And you can do this at an earlier stage too, but I just make the loop front facing. And you can see kind of like the space. It's a tricky effect. You're like twisting the pendant at the same time. You're feeding kind of a loose but tense wire as you're twisting, and that's how you're going to get that messy but firm effect. Like this isn't going to fall apart. All right, good luck. Thanks.